Okay, everyone, back by popular demand. I had to have Kelsey on one more time from Kion, back today to talk to us about amino acids. Now, I know most people probably have heard of them when it comes to working out in the gym, but a lot of people think that that's the only purpose. But there is a list of other benefits, especially when it comes to women as we age, when it comes to cravings, blood sugar stabilization, maintaining healthy muscle mass, all the things. Like as when we age, we lose our muscle mass. So if we continue to maintain our muscle, then there's a ton of benefits related to weight loss and cravings and all the things we're going to get into. So aminos are not just for people who work out. So Kelsey, thank you so much for coming back on with us today.
Thanks, Erin. I'm so glad to be back with you guys today.
Awesome. And for anybody that missed the last time Kelsey was on, she is a certified badass, as I like to call it, but she's also a certified transformational nutritional coach that specializes in women's health and thyroid disorders. She's got her own powerful story of battling hormone imbalances with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. She spent a decade researching and experimenting in order to overcome her own challenges. And since then, she has developed her own systems and programs for autoimmune thyroid disorders, hormone balancing, and a unique focus on the psychology of eating, which is why she's here with us today. She also works alongside Ben Greenfield, who is the co-founder of Kion, which we're going to talk about, and we talked about last time, but this product, Aminos. She also works in the field of brain health, gut health, detoxification, hormones, fitness, fat loss, and more. So she is one of my soul sisters, because that's what I'm all about too. I love having Kelsey on because she has not only done so much work and research in facing her own health challenges with Hashimoto's, she's so passionate about helping women and men, but mainly women who are going through the same things that she did, because so many women are facing these emotional eating, binge eating, mood swing, brain fog, and they start grabbing for the food because we can't get it off this roller coaster. And as much as we have to get to the root cause, sometimes we just need an assist. And this is why I love this company. So Kelsey, tell us, like, just quickly, what's been your experience in this area? You know, what have you seen, you know, just with the women that you're working with, and, you know, some of the things that they might not be looking at?
Yeah, Erin, like you mentioned, kind of coming into the health field with my own health journey is sort of how I got here. So I spent a while trying to figure out my own health issues, being my own detective. And through that, I really found natural ways to manage my autoimmune disease and to really balance my thyroid and hormone disorders. And I know that a lot of women really deal with thyroid disorders as well. It's so common. There's about 20 million Americans that are dealing with some form of thyroid disorder. And there's about 20 million Americans dealing with some form of thyroid disorder right now, and 60% of them don't even know it. So thyroid symptoms can really manifest as a lot of different things. And women specifically are 5 to 8 times more likely to be dealing with some form of thyroid disorder. So that's kind of how I got so passionate about working with women and helping them figure out how to use food and natural supplements and interventions to kind of manage their thyroid and manage their hormone imbalances. And that's how I sort of got here today. And the thyroid is really the regulator of many things in the body that deal with the way that you interact with food. So the thyroid, when it's imbalanced, can affect your mood, your metabolism, and also your cravings. And so it's really, really important, if you want to have a good relationship with food and to manage those cravings, is to make sure that your thyroid is taken care of and balanced and nourished. And so that's kind of how I got into this field today. It's really one piece of the puzzle of emotional eating, I think.
Oh yeah. And it's a huge piece. And we talk about that on the summit of just, you have to get that dialed in, and there's certain things you can do to get your thyroid fixed. And there's so many amazing natural root cause solutions. You just have to know where to get them and what they are. And that's why we have the summit. And you know, sometimes that takes time. You know, there's a lot of, you got to look at the gut, you got to look at toxins, you got to look at stress, you got to look at emotional stress, all the things. And sometimes that takes some time to unravel that and fix that. And so that's why I love having these videos for everyone, is because sometimes we just need a little help along the way, right? And that's why I'm always looking for the best supplements. And that's why I love Keon, because I know Ben, I know how he is all about quality and absorption and sourcing, and that's so important to look at. And specifically, we're talking about Keon Aminos today because this is a product that is a little helper, not a little helper, but it's a helper, and that we may not even realize it's really beneficial, especially for women, because as we age, we lose muscle mass, and when we lose muscle mass, in addition to maybe having thyroid issues or other things going on, our metabolism slows, our cravings go up, like our blood sugar gets whacked. There's a lot of things that we need support. And so this is an awesome way to do this. And Kelsey, you'll get into it, but specifically when it comes to women, a lot of people think, oh, amino acids are for dudes that are working out at the gym. But when it comes to women, why are amino acids so important?
Yeah, I mean, amino acids are really important for everyone. They're the basic building blocks of protein in your body, and they're critical for so many functions. Like you mentioned, they're required to build muscle. So a lot of men will take some form of amino acids if they're trying to put on muscle mass. But they're also required for the synthesis of hormones and neurotransmitters. So they're basically needed for overall body, brain, and hormone health. And I know every woman wants balanced and vital hormones. So they're super important for women. And you actually need some sort of protein. Protein in itself is very important for hormone balance. But like I mentioned, the amino acids are the building blocks of that protein. So you're taking it one step even more fundamental when you're supplementing with amino acids, and you're giving your body the fuel it needs to make estrogen and progesterone and all of these hormones that are important for body composition and skin health and hair health. And so it's a super vital piece of the hormone balance and thyroid balance puzzle for sure.
And especially too, if a lot of women are plant-based out there, which I'm all about whole food plant-based. I think, there's not a one size fits all diet for everyone, but especially for people who may not be getting enough protein, like plants definitely have a ton of protein, which I love, but maybe for some people who maybe they're not as active and they not that hungry and they don't get as much protein, this is where something like this can come into play if they are, like you said, it's the step before the protein. So it's an amazing source to help with that without actually eating protein.
Yeah, like you mentioned, plant-based eaters, right? So there's 20 amino acids in total, 9 of which are essential, which means you have to get them through your diet. And the rest are non-essential. Like you can make them based on those essential amino acids. But most of the richest sources of amino acids in the diet are typically animal products. There are definitely some plant products that have amino acids in them, but it's very rare to find like a complete source of amino acids, of all of those essential amino acids in a plant-based product. So if you are plant-based, unless you're really diligent about your food combining and your protein combining, which is a lot of work, we all know, there's a good chance that you're deficient in some of the essential amino acids, or you have some sort of imbalance. And that can manifest in a bunch of different ways. But it's really important to have enough of the essential amino acids for your nervous system, your reproductive system, your immune health, and even your digestive system. So it's especially important for everyone, but also for plant-based eaters who maybe aren't getting enough in their diet.
Yeah, they're called essential for a reason. Like you have to have them. And if you don't, it's a building block. So imagine your body starts to sort of fall apart if you don't have those building blocks over time, right? And so when it comes to sort of that, if we're not having that complete structure of amino acids, which is why one of the reasons why I love Kion is because this is actually complete and you get literally the best absorption and the best complete profile in the whole market of amino acids, which is pretty phenomenal. So you're getting everything that you need. And with that, I noticed when I was taking this versus other aminos, because I like to test everything, because I'm a supplement snob like that. I noticed for me, I would take it. I've noticed a few things. I'll take it just as a snack when I kind of am feeling a little bit of like I'm getting hungry, but I don't want to eat like snacky stuff because I'm really trying to stay away from snacky stuff because it whacks my blood sugar. Even if it's healthy, it's still the processed stuff. I just notice I'm just always munching and hungry with the snacky stuff. So I took the aminos and I noticed my blood sugar was stable. It was like I had eaten something, but I had just taken aminos, like I just felt more stable and blood sugar was stable. And then when I went and tried them before a workout and after, I just noticed my recovery was better. I felt stronger. I just felt like I had a full tank, that I wasn't depleted. I also am noticing I'm definitely working on gut health at the same time as taking this, but I notice like my neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, I can definitely tell a difference. Just my natural mood and overall sort of vibration is just like, I just feel good, So I think from a craving standpoint, tell us like why these are so awesome for blood sugar and cravings.
Totally. And a lot of what you mentioned, we hear from a lot of people that take Keon Aminos. So that's a completely valid testimonial for sure. So I think it's important to consider why do we get cravings? You know, blood sugar is definitely a part of it. But from a nutrition standpoint, typically it's because we're deficient in something or our body thinks we need more of a certain nutrient. So your body is sending out signals saying like, yo, we need more fuel over here, we're starving. And amino acids, when you take them in their basic form, they satisfy that fundamental need for the building blocks for your body. So you're essentially giving your body raw material from food without the food or the calories or the digestion required to break down those amino acids. So you're kind of shortcutting the eating, digesting, absorbing process that food requires, and instead giving your body, you know, the cleanest, most bioavailable fuel possible. So like you mentioned, you feel like your tank is full. You feel like your tank is full, even though you haven't eaten anything.
Right. Yeah. And too, I feel like combining that, maybe it's just because I've been combining it with this as well, with the lean that we talked about last time, but I feel like I've just have more lean muscle mass. Granted, I'm definitely lifting more weights, not out of control lifting, but just adding more weights. And so I think that combination it's like, it's finally got what it needs. And so you get like 10 benefits from just taking one product. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I noticed that too. I forgot to mention that, but I noticed that too. And I think again, like I'm going to be 40 in like a few months, and I'm like, you know, the most important thing is bone density and muscle and lifting, you know, and if we want to stay healthy and age well, you know, having muscle, not like crazy that you need to go and be a bodybuilder, but just having that muscle and that bone density is so important for aging and staying strong as you know, the clock ticks, as we like
Absolutely.
to say. Yeah.
Yep. And so basically what the amino acids do in terms of lean muscle mass is when you work out, when you lift, you're forming little micro tears in your muscle. So you're sort of breaking down your muscle to build it back up stronger. And so what happens after you work out is it's a muscle breakdown process. And then in order to make it come back stronger, you want some sort of muscle protein synthesis going on. And the amino acids are what help with the muscle protein synthesis. They actually speed up that process and really facilitate the faster building lean muscle faster and making it stronger as well. And so they're very important if your goal is to even just maintain muscle mass as you age. And also if you want to build lean muscle mass, it's kind of like 2xing your workout in a way, if you're taking them after your workout as well.
I was just about to say you don't have to work as hard to recover to build the muscle. It's like, again, your tank's full. You got what you need. You're going to repair and rebuild and get to your goals faster, essentially, exactly. Because you finally got what you need versus having a few things, you know, and then now it's like, oh, I've got everything. Now I can build the muscle. Right. Mm-hmm. So I love that. And then, yeah, just recap again, what's the difference between these aminos and other aminos?
Yeah. So you mentioned a lot of men will take amino acids. Typically people in the fitness industry that are really heavy into bodybuilding, they'll take what's called branched chain amino acids, BCAAs. Mm-hmm. And I'm not down on BCAAs at all. There's a time and a place for them, but they're only 3 of the essential amino acids. So you can think of it like you're really only giving your body a third of what it needs to build muscle. So if your goal is muscle protein synthesis and lean muscle, BCAAs aren't really going to cut it. They may give you more energy, but they're not going to give you that lean muscle mass that you're looking for. So that's really one of the big things is if you type in amino acids into Google, you're going to get a lot of BCAAs. There aren't really that many EAA formulas out there, the essential amino acids, and that's what Kion is. And out of those EAA formulas, Kion is one of the purest out there. It's totally plant-based. We don't use any artificial ingredients, dyes, or sweeteners. There's no stimulants added. Some of them you'll find that they add caffeine or something like that as a stimulant for a pre-workout. We don't add anything like that. And they're also virtually 0 calorie. Our tablets hardly have like 0.4 calories in a tablet, and the powder has, I think, 4 calories per serving. Mm-hmm. So you're getting, again, all of that fuel without the calorie or the digestion process you need with food. And then, like you mentioned, our formula has a higher utilization rate than other formulas, meaning you're absorbing more of the amino acids in a shorter amount of time. So they'll typically kick in like 20 to 30 minutes after you take them. So if you take them 30 minutes after a workout, that's a great time. Or if you take them 30 minutes before a workout, that's also a great time.
Awesome. Yeah. So what I love too is, as much as my testimony may be helpful, I think when you take something that's of this caliber and of this quality, it sells itself. So, it's one of those things where if you look at the quality, the absorption, the complete profile, there's, they don't cut corners, the quality, the absorption, and just the quality of that complete structure of amino acids that you need. I mean, honestly, it sells itself. But of course, we've got, for anyone in this community, we've got an awesome little discount from you guys as a thank you. And so we'll put that below for 20% off. And I mean, I just feel like we owe it to ourselves to invest in our health, because if we don't, we're going to have to invest in our disease or our stuckness, or it's just going to extend our period of stuckness. And so it's like, why not pay for, you get what you pay for. And when you invest into a quality supplement, you are less likely to waste money on other things. You get results, you feel better. And that is what we're all about, is feel better now, because when you feel better now, your vibrations are higher. You can get unstuck so much easier versus trying the same stuff, taking, maybe other supplements that aren't that good of quality, and you just feel like crap. Take something that works, that absorbs, and invest in yourself, because there is nothing better than feeling good and having your health. It is everything. Because once you lose it, like you and I did, you will invest everything into your health first.
Well said. That's so true. That our health is the only thing we can control these days, in a world that feels so out of control. Take hold of your health and invest in it, because it's going to pay dividends over the time period of your life.
Yeah. And I'm just so appreciative for you and Ben and Kion creating these awesome products. I am a customer for life. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for all the love. And we definitely got to have you back on for a big, long summit interview, because your story needs to be shared with all these ladies. So thank you so much,
amazing.
Kelsey.
Thanks, Erin.